Hi, welcome to Move365. If you're watching on Instagram, remember to click the link, go across to YouTube in order to watch the full-length video. Today was the day of the London Marathon, and I am not at the moment much of a runner. I have been training for an endurance cycle event that comes up soon, so I'm much better adapted at the moment to my cycling. But if you were inspired today by watching the London Marathon to get out and do a little bit of running, I wanted to share with you a little bit of advice on how to train safely for endurance exercise like running. I've been following the advice of a fellow chiropractor and one of the coaches for some of the early adopters of Ironman triathlon, a guy called Dr. Philip Maffetone, who wrote a book some years ago. I have it here. The big book of endurance training and racing, and it's full of lots of advice on how to develop your physiology in order to race or just run for leisure and pleasure at your optimum, but doing it safely, doing it in a way that doesn't overtrain you, overstress you, create an environment in your body which allows inflammation and injury to develop and proliferate. And he takes the idea of training slower in order to perform better. Let me explain a little bit more about that. You have two different types of muscle fiber in the main muscles of your body: slow twitch fibers and fast twitch fibers. The fast twitch fibers tend to be the ones that kick in for sprinting and jumping type of movements, and they burn glucose as their principal fuel, sugar. Slow twitch fibers tend to be the ones that are better adapted for endurance, sport, and so running distance. And they burn fat in the presence of oxygen. And in order to keep those muscle fibers working at their optimum, of course you have to keep enough oxygen running around your bloodstream. Therefore, says Dr. Philip, you must train at a heart rate that allows you to keep bringing enough oxygen into your bloodstream to travel around to your muscles, to burn with fat, and keep those slow twitch muscle fibers working at their optimum. Now, traditional heart rate zoning tends to start at a number of 220, from which you minus your age, and that gives you your maximum allowable heart rate for that exercise session. Dr. Phil takes that down 40 points. He says you start at 180, minus your age, that's your maximum allowable training heart rate. So anything up to that point or below is acceptable. But obviously what you want to be doing to optimize your training is working sort of up to and just around that point. So that's quite difficult actually. If you've been used to training at 220 minus your age, and you go down 40 points, it really brings you to a point where you can't do the same level of work that you were doing before without going over that new maximum heart rate. Try it yourself. Do what Dr. Phil calls a MAF test. It's maximum aerobic function test. So you would pick a distance, let's say 5 kilometers or 5 miles of running, or going out on the bike for a set distance, but monitoring your heart rate with a heart rate monitor, a simple chest strap heart rate monitor, a Bluetooth heart rate monitor. You just hook it up to a wrist watch that will measure your heart rate, and every time your heart rate looks like it's going to go over your maximum allowable number, you you soft pedal, you slow down, you walk for a while if you're out running, and you bring that heart rate back down again. And the idea is that you keep your body enabled to keep the oxygen supply going round to your slow twitch muscle fibers, where they can burn fat with oxygen. If you are out running, doing that math test, you running 10-minute miles, you set yourself a 5-mile course, you therefore would run that course in 50 minutes. That is the baseline from which you would then train for a while, a few weeks, a few months, and then you come back and you repeat your math test, and you can see how much faster you can run that 5-mile or 5K course, keeping your heart rate to the same level. And the theory goes that if you can train at that lower heart rate level for long enough, you build this aerobic engine, you improve your capacity to work at that heart rate, and therefore you get faster. As your efficiency at doing so improves, you can get faster whilst working at that same slightly lower level of physical stress. So you're reducing your risk of inflammation buildup, because the products of waste, the metabolic waste products of burning fat with oxygen are far less damaging to your body, apparently, than burning glucose. The free radicals and the other sort of damaging effects on your body's tissues are far less when you're working at that lower heart rate, burning fat with oxygen. There are certain nutritional considerations which I won't go into now. Suffice to say, you don't want to be on a high refined carbohydrate diet, because if you keep on feeding your body glucose, it actually prevents you, it shuts down your fat metabolism. So you want to keep on enabling your body to burn fat, working at that lower heart rate, so say 180 minus your age, and that should allow you to develop this aerobic engine. I'm sorry if that's complicated. To simplify, to clarify, what you need to do is to take the number 180 minus your age, and that will give you a number. That is your maximum heart rate that you are allowed to reach during exercise. Go and run. Having figured that number out, get yourself a heart rate monitor and go out for a run and see how easy or difficult it is to stick around that number. It may mean, if you're used to going out and running and you have a regular workout and a workout effort, it may be that you can't do that effort. You actually feel like you've hardly had a workout at all because you're having to walk when previously you would have run. It's a little bit frustrating to begin with, but if you stick at it, the rewards will come. You'll get more efficient at working at that lower heart rate. You'll reduce your risk of injury. You'll improve your efficiency in that endurance activity. I hope that's helpful. We are here every day bringing you better health through good movement. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the little thumbs up signal symbol below. Comments, questions, please put them in below, and I'll see you tomorrow.